Welcome to Your Cyber Path, the podcast that helps you get your dream cybersecurity job by sharing the secrets of experienced hiring managers and top cybersecurity professionals with you. Now, on to the show.
The next question we have is, it's an interesting one. So this one is again from Anthony, and he's saying, how will the rise of AI automation change the SOC and the GRC spaces? As we see more products like mixed mode AI come out, I'm worried that it'll change the SOC roles into glorified dev spaces managing the automation workhorses. Where does the human element comes to play?
So I'm not a futurist, but if you're trying to predict the future, you're probably going to be wrong. But I'll give you my thoughts. I know a lot of people are worried about AI and ML taking away jobs from cybersecurity analysts. And I don't think that's going to happen, right? There is the amount of volume we have is too much for analysts to do manually. We have to use automation. There's no other way to protect ourselves. But at the end of the day, the AI is only going to be so good. If anybody has played with ChatGPT, it does a really good job 90% of the time. The other 10% is completely and utterly wrong, right? And so I think it's going to be the same thing with these SOC-based AI and ML tools. They're going to be used to say, this looks really suspicious to me, and here's why. Human, look at this, tell me, am I right? And then you would go in and do the analysis of it. Similar to, when I was running a SOC back in 2012 through 2016 or so, we had a lot of entry-level analysts whose really their goal was to go look for things that look weird, and they wouldn't know if it was bad or not. They go, this looks weird. Let me give it to a senior analyst, and then they can look at it. But that way, I take 100 people and then get that to the two, really, really smart analysts who are looking really in depth at things. And that's really, those entry-level jobs have now been replaced by machine learning and filters and searching capabilities and things like that. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. I don't think we're going to necessarily be turning SOC analysts into devs, but I do think that we are going to see a lot more AI automation in these things, because if attackers can use AI to attack, it's going to be acting this fast. And if we're trying to do everything manually, we're acting in hours or days, not this fast. And so to be able to compete, we're going to have to do AI and ML. Kip, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would like you to think about AI and ML as the next killer app for your job. And I think it's very similar to, believe it or not, there was a time when a spreadsheet was a giant poster on a wall, and people had to get on ladders in order to reach the rows and the columns at the top. And then spreadsheets were also these giant ledger books where you'd have to write in them, right? And that's where the bookkeeping was happening. And then along came VisiCalc, and then Lotus 123, and then Microsoft Excel. And now spreadsheets are electronic, and they're all these great
and cloud-based and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's right. And that hasn't eliminated the jobs of people who use spreadsheets, but it has required them to shift the way that they see their job and the tooling that they use. And so they do have to go kind of through, a rethinking. And I believe that ChatGPT and these other AI ML tools are going to have a very similar effect on us in the near term, where we are going to have to learn how to do our jobs with a different set of tooling. And we have to, because our competitors are doing it, whether that's competitors in terms of cyber criminals or competitors in terms of other people that I'm competing with for this job that I want. And so in the near term, I think that's a reasonable way to look at it.
Yeah, I think the other part of that really is, when we look at a lot of AI tools that are being implemented, and at Dion Training, we're using ChatGPT and OpenAI with a customized training database that we're training now as well to do a lot of our work. The jobs that it replaces are the very entry-level jobs. And so what ends up happening is the people who remain, and generally more of the people who remain, are going to be higher tech and higher knowledge. And so they're able to make more. And so it's actually a better paying job. If you are somebody who does not like to learn, cybersecurity is not for you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a constantly changing field. ChatGPT has been a huge game changer for a lot of stuff we do. If you email us a question and say, Jason, I want you to explain the CIA triad, I am not going to spend 10 minutes typing out an answer to you on the CIA triad. I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to type in, explain the CIA triad in 500 words to a student at the 7th grade level. And it's going to pop me out 2 or 3 paragraphs. I'm going to read over those in 30 seconds and say they're good, or I need to modify them a little bit, paste it back in the email and send it to you. I now saved 10 minutes and made it a minute. That's the kind of things that we're going to see with AI and ML. And we're doing a lot of that at Dion Training, where, I used to have a virtual assistant who would help with that. And her job was to go find an answer online, write it up and summarize it, send it to me. I would approve it, and then it would go back to the student. Now we've been able to replace that role with ChatGPT.